What's your thoughts on Victoria 3 without unit warfare?
I need to see how it's implemented. What I imagine it will be like is effectively Hearts of Iron 4 front lines without the micro. I'm okay with that. I like the Hearts of Iron front lines, as you probably know from watching me play Hearts of Iron. I think it's an interesting system. And then you just assign your armies to those fronts, then the AI does it based on where you draw the lines. Cool. Because one thing that I'm always cautious with, especially in the way that I play Hearts of Iron, in single player, less so in multiplayer, that's a different beast, is I don't like doing things that the AI doesn't do. Because I feel like it gives an unfair advantage. So if you micro your tanks, and the AI doesn't, that's a big advantage for you. Leave it to the AI to win you the war. Wait, what? I mean, it's more about being the strategic direction as opposed to the micro direction. Like, Victoria has always been about logistics. It's been about supply lines. It's been about bringing troops in at the right time, mobilization, using railroads to ship in troops as they mobilize. So having this more disconnected system, I can see it working. I need to see how they've done it. Like, I haven't read that dev diary yet, so I know they're laying the groundwork, because I know that they were expecting it to be a really controversial issue. Because it's a major step away from, for example, this, where you have these individual armies and you move them around. And somebody in chat earlier actually made a very interesting point. The people who are going to be most upset about it are those who like EU4. Because EU4 is very micro-heavy compared to, say, Hearts of Iron. Oh, battle's going on. Bjornrik fighting against Vern. Vern having just done another unopposed crossing. Bjornrik fighting. Bjornrik does have a couple of extra soldiers nearby to help reinforce, but Vern's sheer quality and morale is better. Bjornrik is bringing in some reinforcements. Lorent also has a couple nearby. Vern has, meanwhile, tried to cross with their 148,000, which is going to need to be opposed. And in fact, if Vern, again, can get beaten here, then maybe they can force that crossing. And Bjornrik's armies have been sent packing. They do have quite a few troops nearby to help assist. Anbennar, good old Anbennar, coming in with some additional troops as well. Lorent's got the vampire and still thrall issue again. Good possible donation to playing Kaiser Redux is Transmers. They got a very large overhaul if you want to check that out. Okay, that's interesting. Because I remember I played Transmers and I was a little underwhelmed by what they could actually achieve. But I think they're in a position where I think they would be a very interesting one. Just like I kind of want to play Hearts of Iron with no step back, with Russia just torn apart. Like, one of the game settings you can do is that Russia just starts completely fragmented. And I think that would really change up the way that Hearts of Iron generally plays. Because generally Russia is just like the end boss. Russia and the USA, every frickin' time. It's dull. Split Russia apart though, especially if it's done in a kind of China system like Kaiserreich has in China. Russia is suddenly interesting again. What about the mod where Germany won the war? We did the Duchy of Kemerovo. Yeah, that's what I mean. The no TNO. New Order. I thought that was an interesting way of doing Russia. I'd like to see more of that in the future. I just didn't particularly like my time with Iberian Union or Britain in TNO. And I'd like to see the timeline extended for TNO. because they already intend to do that. I'm not saying that it's like, this needs more stuff, like Kaiserreich desperately needs, but just because it was always their intention to make it like 20, 30, 40 years. And I gotta say, like, the other Cold War mod that I played, I hated it. Like, generally, Hearts of Iron does a really freaking terrible job of portraying more than about 10 years of game time. 10 years seems to be about the limit. TNO seems to be the one mod where that may be the exception, because it is so railroaded in what each nation is supposed to achieve. And because it's so railroaded, they can control precisely how much each one grows. Which means they can maintain the balance over a longer period. Because the other one that I played, the one where it starts in like the 1800s and goes all the way to the modern age, Hearts of Iron does not do long face times very well. Do you think Hearts of Iron 4 will become more railroady with the next DLC? Someone had to make a joke about that. I'm glad you pointed that out to be a joke, because I would not have gotten that. And I would have been like, no. Oh, we got Lorent actually launching an attack here on the flank. Where is the Phoenix Empire? Are they assisting? Phoenix Empire is on the way. Yes, they are. Just not in the same area. And we actually got Vern going after some of Lorent's reinforcement armies here. And they seem to be backing off. They're scared, I think, of the fact that Vern actually saw them coming. Meanwhile, Vern is launching an attack against Bjornrik for that bloody island again. The Dame's Teeth. It does look like Vern is going to win this fight against Lorent, because Lorent's armies were chased away over there. Phoenix Empire is pushing from the flank, and I think they need to be a bit more aggressive while Vern's attention is so split. And then Lorent does have a couple of reinforcement armies which will assist here in Bjornrik. I think that Lorent may actually be trying to return to help out in this fight. We're in the Age of Witch Kings. Do we have the cheap movement yet? No, we don't. That's Age of Artificers. So all of these people that have the force movement turned on, it's going to be costing them a small fortune in terms of marching times, like this unit. Going all the way, every single province it goes through is costing... Oh, only one? That's gone down. That used to be like 5, maybe even 10. Unless that's like a magic effect. That'd be an interesting one. Like casting haste on this army. Meanwhile, the Adenica-Marhold war against Kryenvar is over, and Marhold is now looking more and more like an actually functioning nation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces I think they gained that time. Maybe even 9. Meanwhile, Adenica... Oh no, sorry, it's Kryenvar. This is the perspective I want to see. So I think they took most of this last time. I think these... No, there was a... I think there were 2 provinces which were here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 provinces potentially around there that those 2 have just retaken. However, this time Encardia didn't get anything. This all went to Adenica and Marhold. With this one province still being separated. And then Marhold's also going after Wyvernheart at last. So Adenica, almost 400,000 manpower. They've actually maintained their manpower incredibly well during this. They're going to need to do a lot of drilling to get their professionalism back up again, though. Meanwhile, Marhold with 350. I mean, a similar position. Yeah, I like that. I think those 2 have done a very good job there of taking stuff. Meanwhile, the incursion into Vern by the Phoenix Empire seems to be going well. One of Vern's armies, clearly having been sent packing. Phoenix Empire with a lot of troops nearby. Vern also does have another reinforcement squad. Verkal Gulen holding on to the rebel territories there. Then we've got Van Rahar coming in with some reinforcements. Vern fighting with a -2 here and just losing. Oh, and they're about to get stack wiped by Van Rahar. They retreated in the wrong direction. Oh, Phoenix Empire, wake up! You could kill another 20k. I think you may have lost out there. Like an EU4 Song of Ice and Fire mod, not the limited Game of Thrones part, but all of the world of that universe. One of these days I really do need to play the CK mod. Game of Thrones one. I played like a really early build of it. And then haven't played it again since. There's just too many things to do. That's my problem. I'm always able to put my schedule together in like seconds because there's never a shortage of things to put on it. Ever. Whoa, Phoenix Empire. What are you up to? Did you get something stack wiped? Are you just expanding your army? No, I think your force limit's just gone up. Got almost 1 million in Phoenix Empire now too. Oh, and there's another battle going on here. 160,000 against 133,000. 200,000 sitting next door. So the Phoenix Empire is really starting to flex their muscles here. 8.3 morale against Vern 7.1. 116 discipline against 105. Phoenix Empire's armies are kind of scary. Godhair also looks promising on CK3. Godhair is made by the lead developer of TNO. So I would hope so. I haven't looked at it because I thought it needed time to mature, as most mods do, particularly before I start streaming them. But yeah, Godhair has some excellent people working on it, so I'm sure it will be excellent. Pretty sure the two biggest selling points for Kaiser Redux from Mordred is 1. The Austrian puppets of focus trees, yay! And Russia and Transmur are updated to have much more going on for them. I think there are 4 unique focus trees for a unified Russia, Soviets, India, Absolute Monarchy, Democratic, Eurasia. I mean, ultimately I'd really like to see Kaiserreich splitting Russia the hell up. Like, it's really weird to me. For those of you who don't know the background of Kaiserreich, it emerged from a mod which is called something like Russia at War, which was all about Russian warlords fighting each other, much like China now does. Then at some point during Kaiserreich's development, they unified it to the Russia we all know and love today. I don't really understand why, because like part of the draw of the early version of Kaiserreich was the fact that Russia was divided. Like, I never played that version, it just sounds really interesting. Because like the entire lore in Kaiserreich and the entire like background setting with the rise of Germany having won the First World War, was a way of explaining why Russia had fragmented. So I'm kind of hoping that they go back to those roots and split Russia up again. Much the same way as they've done America, and I think America is a heck of a lot more interesting to play as now because of the American Civil War. Can I show the other player? Which one? There are like 20 others. We're just focusing on this right now because that's where the main war is going. This bit is stalemated big time. Is Obtel Kanzad allied to? I don't think they're allied to anyone. They are very friendly with Phoenix Empire. Easiest way to check would be to deselect and then hover. Yeah, they're not allied with any players, but they're friendly with Phoenix. Oh, Lorent is actually doing an incursion over here again. attacking into Vern. 100,000 against 70 with another 70, 80,000 standing by nearby. Oh, that's another 85,000 of Vern's finest coming in. So now 190,000 against 120. But Lorent still has plenty of reinforcements nearby. 7.1 morale against 6.7. So Lorent's morale is slowly catching up as their land tradition catches up. After all of these battles, it's not really a surprise. And I gotta say, Lorent's actually doing a surprising amount of damage to Vern here. 3,000 losses for like 300. I'll need to take a look at Lorent's army quality again, because I know their cavalry is very good. And I think he has packed up a lot of quality on his infantry too. Does he have a better general? I didn't think so. Oh yeah, 6.5, 6.3. 6.6. No, he's not actually. He's just doing a lot more damage. Like a lot more. I wish I could see the outcome of that particular battle. And there we are. Peace has been made. Wesdam is not back. Oh no, no, that's Anbennar. They didn't take as much land up here as I expected they would. Okay, so that's now just the Phoenix Empire against Vern. I'm really curious about this, because this definitely felt like a Lorent victory. Lorent took one province, plus these ones back. No, they already had Royal-Sard, because that was their most highest income province. Anbennar didn't lose anything over there. Royal-Sard's been given land back again. And this was a war of Everthil against Lorent. So did Everthil lose something? I might need to go and ask them about what happened there. So Phoenix Empire is still fighting against Vern. Let's take a look at this from Vern's perspective. We don't do that very often. Because Vern still got 13k in the bank. Being paid off ridiculous amounts by Anbennar. Anbennar is still paying this. Anbennar, who is now 33,000 ducats in debt. They just don't care. Yeah, what I'll probably do after this particular battle is over is I'll go and hunt down Torsion and say, hey, what happened? I'm curious. Because that was a sudden ending. Because I don't think Vern was... And in fact, judging by the amount of money they have, it kind of looks like Vern pieced out in exchange for money from Lorent, which, considering Lorent was in the process of invading Vern, seems a bit weird. But then Lorent may have been out of manpower. No, they just tapped one more time. I mean, I think that Vern is effectively impossible to kill at this point, because they just have so much manpower. Yeah, I know he is. I will go and check once this fight's done, like I said. I want to see who wins it. Because at the moment, Vern is ahead. But Phoenix Empire has a lot more troops that they can feed into the meat grinder. Here comes Van Raha. Oh, Vern almost lost there, although Vern just lost their back line. Vern's dead. Don't reinforce Drake's Guard. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. How's that working? Drake's Guard's just been boarding a ship and then landing here. And it's unexiling them, but that's not going back to their territory. I guess their overlord counts. Huh, interesting. So yes, Phoenix Empire won that one. Right, let's go and have an ask. I'm curious.
Scott, he told me, like, he was not gonna engage me, and then did engage me, so crushing him now.
But if you push Eberthil, then you can white piece, or not white piece, stab hit.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you have a moment. What was the outcome of that war?
I got my land back, basically.
Oh, I see. You've given it all to Royalsard now.
Royalsard and Woodwell to Weston.
Gotcha.
But yeah, essentially, I got the land back that I lost in that first war.
Can you keep the? I need you to keep your cannon stack on the front line.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, so they're clearly still very heavily engaged in the war there, so I don't want to interrupt them too much. So it does look like Lorent just regained the stuff that they lost in the previous conflict, so we're back to status quo. And now it's going to be the Phoenix Empire versus Vern. And what is Soldier Sat going to do during all of this? One other thing which I'm curious about is how the Phoenix Empire feels, and also Van Rahar, about the fact that Ovdor Kanzad is now taking more and more of Rahen. Which I would have thought that Van Rahar wants, but Van Rahar's not been particularly aggressive down here. Although he does have quite a few vassals. One. Oh no, that's a Phoenix Empire vassal because Van Rahar is himself a vassal of the Phoenix Empire. So this is going to be a good collection of development for Ovdor Kanzad, but it's not tunnels. Did not get the Netcliffe land back. At this point, Netcliffe is so dead that's just kind of a waste because Vern would just turn around and just take it again straight after. Maybe one day I'll do the roaming report if you in a multiplayer again. That was a good way of doing it, Poet. But now I'm no longer the organizer, it's less necessary. Seriously, one of the best things that we've done was letting other people organize these. I like multiplayer. It's fun. But the amount of drama that goes on behind the scenes for the players, and you as the organizer are kind of responsible for salving egos? No thanks. Like, I live on the internet. I'm an influencer. I'm a content creator. I have a very thick skin. But my gosh, some of the stuff that players can get up to in the background. Just like, guys, just chill. Seriously, it's a freaking game. Egos in multiplayer games? No way. Oh, way. Very, very way. Their ships count as their territory. I didn't think they used to. So I'm sure I've tried that before. Soldier Sat's just rubbing his hands together and watching the Phoenix Empire and Vern burning each other into the ground via telescope. Oh, 100% they are. Like, the longer this war goes on, the better it is for Soldier Sat. Soldier Sat's just over there drilling. They're very happy with this state of affairs. Unflagging with transports has been a thing for a while now. Huh, I never knew. Drama's fun to watch from the sidelines, but yeah, if you actually have to mediate. Even just watching it, I'm just like, nah. I think this might be one of the reasons why, like, reality TV just holds zero interest to me. I don't like drama, even if I'm not involved with it. I'm very unconfrontational. It irks me more than anything. So we have another Phoenix Empire versus Vern fight going on here. 116% discipline against 105. I feel like Vern's lost some of their discipline. Morale's still 7 against 6. Phoenix Empire's lost some of their morale. Didn't they have like 8 a moment ago? They certainly had more than Vern, but it's gone down again. Too old to be part of the drama and just wave my hands and tell them to sort themselves out. Yeah, I'm kind of the same, but you can't really give that answer if you're the one organising and hosting these things, because then suddenly it becomes your fault. That's why I don't play competitive. I play casual meme about any day. I like casual games. Casual's fine. But then it really has to be casual, and the problem with casual games is everyone has to play like it's a casual game. If you have even just like one person trying hard in it, that will very often just ruin the whole game. So Vern's coming in with their... I was going to say their last stack, but actually Everthil's got a bunch of troops down here that they can still reinforce with. Phoenix Empire and Van Rahar still good. Actually, Vern got some armies marching in the background, cutting off the reinforcements as they could come in. They have another 100 stack down there. And we have Everthil coming around the flank, trying to cut off the Phoenix Empire reinforcements. It does look like the Phoenix Empire is eventually going to lose this fight. Those 81,000 Van Rahar need to arrive really, really soon. Except this is a -2. This is not a fight they should be taking. Oh, it's a siege. That's why they're taking it. Fair enough. In that case, fair enough. Especially if it was a siege that was almost done. Which... you can't tell from here. 0%. Artillery's in the front row. Get out of there! Run away! And that was a Vern victory. Meanwhile, chaos is still spreading chaos in South New World. Drake's Guard pretty much fully occupied. Swampland mostly occupied. Moriand mostly occupied. Being a fairly slow process of getting their troops through and taking everything though. You have to try hard to play casual. Only works with trusted people. I mean, one of the things which Hussar has been doing is co-op games. So everyone's playing on the same side and just comp stomping. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Because you're dividing up your duties. You have someone playing as like the Admiral. You have a person responsible for each front. And then one person doing the industry. Actually sounds like a really interesting game to do. Maybe something to try with the Soviets. The problem is, usually when I organise a multiplayer game these days, it's a bit bigger than like 5 people. Though I could definitely limit it. It was a great idea by Hussar. I mean, I've done similar to that before, like the devs versus content creator multiplayer, where we had the House of Parliament. I was the High Lord Admiral of the UK, and then the strategic goals were decided by chat, and then we had the Prime Minister, which was Torior. Feedback, who was the Air Marshal, I was the Navy, and then Prussian Prince responsible for the army. First Lord of the Admiral? Nah. My titles are way more spiffing than that. First Lord. Yes, I was the First Lord of the Admiralty. Oh, that's a stack wipe coming. Oh, you got lucky there, Vern. Last minute ticking over of the month, otherwise that would have been a total stack wipe of 70k. That game was fun to watch. That game was fun to play. And then you had the developers playing as Imperial Germany.